The power of the heart.
The power of the heart. Finding your inner wisdom.
The power of the heart.
Finding the power of the heart.
The power of the heart.
The power of the
Power
heart.
of the power of the heart.
让我们寻回心的力量。The
Power of the heart.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Yuru Chao. You are tuning in to the Power of the Heart on Dai Radio. Recently, in a Christian faith-based newspaper, they reported about Tzu Chi and its aid to the storm-ravaged Philippines. Let me read you what they wrote. Super Typhoon Haiyan swept ashore November 8, 2013, killing at least 6,000 people and leaving 4 million either homeless or with damaged homes. A Buddhist charity from Taiwan has won the gratitude of many in Tacloban by providing funds to help clean up the area. Dotted around the storm-wrecked city of Tacloban in the central Philippines are notices thanking not the government, not the United Nations, nor the Roman Catholic Church. They give gratitude to the Tzu Chi Foundation, a Taiwanese Buddhist charity that made its presence felt in the weeks after a devastating November typhoon. Thank you very much, Tzu Chi Foundation, reads one such cloth banner draped over a ruined shop front on Tacloban's smashed-up waterfront, a half-mile or so from the town's main Catholic church. The Philippines' 82 million Catholic comprise the third biggest such population behind Brazil and Mexico. It is a country known for public display of devotion, taking in such element pageantry as annual voluntary and non-lethal crucifixion in memory of the death of Jesus. Christmas, marking the birth of Jesus, is a much more joyous celebration. But in this central Philippines town of 220,000 people, the churches were full and battered villages festooned with impromptus Christmas trees fashioned out of storm debris, Christmas in Tacloban was overshadowed by death and destruction. Despite the over-Christianity that the Philippines is known for, a foreign Buddhist charity is winning most of the local plaudits after paying 5,000 pesos, about $11 a day, to cashless and sometimes jobless people whose home or business were wrecked or put out of action by the storm. Joy Ricote lives across the road from Tacloban's Buddhist temple, which faces the same water which rose so destructively on the morning of November 8th. A storm surge whipped up by 200 mile-per-hour winds in one of the strongest storms on record. Mr. Ricote has already rebuilt his shack using bits of wood, plastic, and metal, he says, he took from the street, bits of shoreline, houses that did not survive the storm. He was one of those who took up Tzu Chi on its 5,000 peso a day rate for cleaning up the city, and also received a 12,000 peso cash donation to rebuild his home. Yeah, I'm happy to have heard from Tzu Chi, he says. Monica Sai, the Tzu Chi Foundation representative in Tacloban, says that the 19 days long cash forward program included 280,000 paid working days, while 38,000 families benefited from the rebuilding donations. The assistance was not just financial, she says. People were in shock, depressed. We want to inspire them to clean up and to get back to work, she says. The lavish outlay seems to have come no strings attached, and local clergymen have welcomed the Buddhist group's generosity. Monsignor Alex Opiniano, a priest at Sant'Onino Church, said that Tzu Chi based itself on church grounds when it first arrived in Tacloban after the storm. The Tzu Chi style of extending assistance has been very direct, giving cash aid to the people. He says, and adding that, it was motivated by love, a desire to help others. Ms. Tsai, the Tzu Chi Foundation representative, says, we injected money into the local economy, which we hope help demand and in turn help business to get back and get going again. So that is a real example of volunteers putting spiritual food of Dharma in action. In our program today, we'll begin with a reading of Master Cheng Yen's teaching about the spiritual food of Dharma by Mr. Liu Yanping. Then, after a short break, we'll discuss this teaching with Ping to explore why he desperately needs more of such spiritual food of Dharma right now to help him overcome his recent affliction over a relationship breakup. He said that when in doubt, just listen to Dharma Master Cheng Yen's guidance. People from all walks of life were helped by her teaching to transform themselves and make a difference. So you see, Master Cheng Yen is a great teacher, and if you stay close to her teaching, you will receive so much gift of wisdom that will help you immensely in more ways than you will imagine. Master Cheng Yen said that she speaks only from her personal realization. That means she teaches Dharma in a frame of day-to-day life context that everybody identifies with. So Dharma is no longer an abstract concept, but the moral of real-life stories we all can understand easily. Master Cheng Yen shows that Dharma is for everyone. If we are mindful, we'll discover our innate pure wisdom. In our program, you'll also hear from people around the world and their favorite Jingsi aphorism.
Station on a rainy day, I saw an old man sitting quietly, looking down my way. Where shall I go, I asked. Shall I turn right or left? Go straight, he said, go straight. Believe and don't forget. If you care for other people the way you want them to care for you, you will find inside of you the power of love and truth. Love and truth. Yeah. Time for love. Time for Time for
You are listening to the Power of the Heart on Dai Radio, tapping into the power of the heart, finding your inner wisdom, finding the power of the heart.
The following is a teaching from Dharma Master Cheng Yen about the spiritual food of Dharma. Every day we take in food to sustain our body, but while our physical body needs nourishment, so too does our soul. The food for our soul is Dharma. With Dharma, we grow in insight and wisdom, and our soul becomes more awakened. While we have a physical life, spiritually, we have what is called wisdom life. Most ordinary people focus on physical well-being, but for the sage, what is most important is the nourishment of wisdom life. Dharma is the spiritual food that can enable our wisdom life to grow. When we listen to the Dharma with mindfulness, spiritual joy will fill our hearts. This joy is very nourishing. When we keep the Dharma always in our hearts, we're watering the roots of wisdom, helping them to grow deeper. Taking in the spiritual food of Dharma, we also gradually develop the ability to endure all things. The conditions of nature, for example, are things we need to learn to endure. The changing seasons bring differing weather, at times unbearably hot or freezing cold. Learning to peacefully adjust to these conditions and endure them is part of our practice. The ability to endure is also important when interacting with people. For where there are people, there will be people issues arising due to personality and differences in views. Gossip, disagreements, and even conflicts often happen. These can cause afflictions in us. If we have understanding of the Dharma, however, our minds will not become afflicted and we can patiently transcend all these difficulties. Eventually, we can even reach a state where we can peacefully endure everything without feeling that we are enduring anything at all. This ability to endure things, be it nature's elements or human interactions, is very important. If our capacity to endure is not strong, we will likely give up on our cultivation when we encounter obstacles and challenges. In giving up on cultivation, however, we actually open ourselves up to torment from all kinds of afflictions. As we learn, reflect on, and practice the Dharma, our capacity to endure all things will grow and become strengthened. Spending time to learn the Dharma also enables us to develop insight, and with insight we will act in a more pure and wholesome way. When we do so, we naturally give off a sense of virtue, which is like a wonderful fragrance. Because of this fragrance, when people encounter us, they will feel joy and their hearts will open to us. They will be more receptive to our words and be able to find benefit in them. Therefore, as our practice transforms and purifies us from within, we manifest this in our conduct. This fragrance of virtue arises naturally as the fruit of our practice. Learning, reflecting on, and practicing the Dharma is the way to help our wisdom life grow. Wisdom life is eternal, unlike the physical life that lasts for only one lifetime. Nourishing wisdom life can enable us to transcend our afflictions and illusions and stay on the right path. That is why the sage sees nourishing wisdom life as more important than nourishing one's physical body. As we live our day-to-day life, we must not forget to take in the spiritual food of Dharma. Hi, my name is Ping, and I would like to share with you one of my favorite Jin-Si aphorisms. The first step on the path of Buddhism is to lessen our desires and to be satisfied with what we have. Then our minds will relax and we will begin to gain wisdom. I feel that desire is the root of all suffering. Because desire has no bounds, a person can chase their desires endlessly. For example, Master tells us that our mouth is a bottomless pit that can never be satisfied. Some people spend their entire lives pursuing lavish meals and exotic foods, never content with what they eat. They spent an exorbitant amount of money at fancy restaurants, even creating bad karma from eating meat. And if they're unable to satisfy this craving, they don't feel like they're living the good life and feel envious of others' meals that they see on social media. I feel that if we can be content with what we already have, we can release a lot of afflictions that rise in our daily lives. May wisdom and inspiration always be with you.
Dai Radio is just a click away. You can listen to the Dai Radio anywhere in the world.
Our special guest today is Mr. Liu Yanping. He is a certified Tzu Chi volunteer from Texas, U.S. Though he is in his early 30s, he has many years of experience with Tzu Chi because he grows up in a Tzu Chi family. So he has been with Tzu Chi since middle school. Welcome to the program, Ping.
Hi, it's good to be here.
I know people who grow up in Tzu Chi family doesn't necessarily identify themselves with Tzu Chi. However, you are a very special case, and I hope there are more cases like you. You have been very involved with Tzu Chi. Can you tell us when you started, what really helped you to identify with Tzu Chi?
I met Tzu Chi in my early teens through my parents. They became Tzu Chi volunteers as well in Austin, Texas. And the first activities I remember doing was at the nursing home. And I remember going as just with a Sigu's family and my own family. So it was just two families, about 7 to 8 people. So although we were very new in the city, and I didn't really know why we were doing this, but I went anyways because my parents told me to. But I think later on in my college years and then beyond college, after I started working, I started participating more in the community with the community volunteers. So, and I also had a chance to go to Haiti in 2010 to do international relief work. And I think it was then that I really saw a dramatic difference in how people lived and why I should not take the things I have for granted, and that I should live a life more of service to others.
So through your Tzu Chi experience, you gain more understanding of yourself and your situation. And you like this new knowledge, this new insight into life, and that's why you stay with Tzu Chi.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. I feel that I have learned something that I did not learn in school, and listening to Dharma Master Zheng Yan's teachings really helped me grow in other ways. It helped me grow spiritually.
And these spiritual knowledge is only available when you participate in Tzu Chi work and listen to Master Zheng Yan's teaching. You cannot find it anywhere else, right?
Yes, I believe that Tzu Chi is a very special and unique place because of what Dharma Master Zheng Yan teaches, as well as what she preaches. You should take things into action. You should not just learn about a concept, but you should learn about it and then put it into your own lives.
So as you walk the Tzu Chi path with your parents, you must have witnessed their change before and after their participation with Tzu Chi. Can you share with us what difference do you see in your parents?
So I feel that my dad, he used to be a person that maybe did not always smile very much. I'm not saying that he's a very unhappy person, but maybe if somebody saw him, maybe they would think that he was angry or upset at something. But the more that he does Tzu Chi, I feel that he has really put on the Tzu Chi makeup, as Master Zheng Yan always tells us to put on, which is a nice big smile for all the people around us. And so I feel that's one aspect that he has changed. And I think with my mother, she really has taken in the Master's teaching in that she does not complain as much. And she used to feel that there were much hardships in her life before she was married and even after she was married. And so I believe that she used to complain about her life. And because I'm her son, so sometimes I would have to hear it quite often. But I feel now she's more accepting of her life and what has happened. And I feel that she's more grateful with what life has dealt her. And then she has turned around and tried to be more grateful with what has happened in her life.
What a complete makeover you're describing. I am sure that you must be very happy with this change in your parents after they joined Tzu Chi, and also with your new learning as you walk the Tzu Chi path. Now, all you're describing seem to be a growth in wisdom life as you work on Tzu Chi projects and learn from listening to Master Cheng Yen's teaching. Now, what does it mean to you when you hear wisdom life? Can you describe to us what wisdom life is all about?
So I believe growing in our wisdom life is going beyond our ordinary lives so that we can attain clarity to the truths in life. Because I really feel that we as human beings do a lot of things as tradition, and we don't really understand why we do them. But through Buddhism and also through Master Cheng Yen's teachings, we can really understand why we're on this world and what we should strive to be. And in wisdom life, I think one should strive to become more selfless and also try to benefit others without anything in return.
Being selfless and asking for nothing in return, that sounds like a great concept, but how do you exactly put that concept of great love and that teaching of Dharma to life, to practice in your daily life? What do you do exactly?
So I feel that as a Tzu Chi volunteer, I listen to the Master lecture, and I also have a chance to read her books and to read the Buddha Sutras, so that I can try to learn the truths, learn the Dharma, and put it into my life. But I think beyond that, you also need to fact check with your actual life. All these ideas and these concepts, you need to make sure that they match up in your real lives. I think this way you can really take in the teachings and the Dharma and put it in your everyday practice.
What are some real life examples that you actually put Dharma to practice in your life and you see the difference after you put Dharma to practice in your real life? For example, when you get angry with someone, or when you get very disappointed at outcome of certain event, are you seeking Dharma? Does Dharma come to you and help you go through those difficulties in life so you can have a quicker recovery from such challenges?
Yeah, so I think the hardest thing for me to overcome in my life currently is to be grateful for the people that I feel have hurt me or wronged me in the past. Recently, I had some afflictions from a relationship that didn't work out. It was with a girl that didn't work out. So initially, my thoughts were that, she was very selfish and that she did not reciprocate my feelings and then all the effort that I had put in to pursue her. Also, I was very bitter because I felt that she was able to move on so quickly without me to back to a normal life, as if I was not part of her life. But I think in retrospect, I still must be grateful to her, because I realized that it was actually my brand of love that was selfish, that I was demanding that she treat me a certain way. And with what Dharma Master Cheng Yen says is that it's okay to love, but we must try to figure out why we love and the capacity in which we love. Because I feel maybe for me to like this girl and to pursue her is a small love, but Master Cheng Yen encourages us to practice great love, which is expanding that capacity of love to more people and then more places as well. So that is something that I wish to learn and practice on and attain eventually in my life.
So Master's teaching on great love is right now helping you to change your perspective and trying to get over your hurt and your bitterness, so then it can quickly recover from whatever that set you back before. And I think a lot of people always seek wisdom and inspiration when they are down in their life. I hope that continuing on this Tzu Chi path, you receive more wisdom from other volunteers, learn from others' examples, and really have no more setbacks and no more challenges like this, because I think there are so much in the world that really is, there are a lot of opportunity for us out there. And if we don't look to the right direction, it's very often we get stuck in the places that's not meant for us. And I hope you'll find very soon what's meant for you, and you're very happy and have a very productive, very meaningful days. Thank you, Ping, for joining us today. If you wanted to listen to more teaching from Dharma Master Cheng Yen, please be sure to tune into our program next time. And thank you. Goodbye. Have a great day.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I found, was blind, but now I see. This grace that found my heart to beat, the grace to feel relief. How precious the grace time, oh, the first hours it comes. Oh, the first hour, I believe. Amazing grace, how sweet that sound that saved a wretch like me. But now I found, was blind, but now